Pretend that you're walking down the street when suddenly you see a man. No, a crazy man. Crazier! Perfect. This man is suffering from some type of dementia. He keeps flapping his arms and saying things like, "My gold, my silver, my diamonds. Those ostriches are trying to eat my gold." Being that the case, you are faced with two options. You can either A. Ignore him and walk on the other side of the road, or B. Try to convince him that the regular diet of the ostrich does not include precious metals. Yeah. I mean, no. Well, no, yeah. But not all. Take this guy, for example. First freedom fighter. This guy has done a lot of research. He has access to the books, he has access to the websites. In this case, ignorance, it's not an excuse. Yet he insists that the scientific information he found completely supports what it says in the Bible. He decides to ignore what 90 or 95% of his research is saying, and he just concentrates in a phrase or two. Then he gives his own interpretation of what these phrases are saying, and in his mind, that is enough to support his full argument. Now, this is where it gets scary. He sometimes gives links to the site where he thinks he found support for his point of view, but unless it's a link to a creationist site, the info provided completely contradicts what he has said in that or other of his videos. It's an outstanding disconnection to reality. It goes far beyond delusion. It's greater than a distortion. It's a complete disconnection. First freedom fighter is not a creationist because he's an idiot. No. It's a lot worse. Others, nah, they're just idiots. In most of his videos, he keeps saying things like, "Scientists are saying this, and scientists have discovered that." First freedom fighter, scientists have actually disproven creationism. Big time. Well, of course, ignorance is still a factor. Ignorance is the base for all creationist thinking. But even those that have done some research, ignorance of the topic still plays a role. But the most common reason is indoctrination. What mommy and daddy told you, and depending on the harshness of your parents, those ideas cannot be questioned, and indoctrination is not going to go away easily. Another good reason is empowerment. The "I know something you don't know," or "we're saved and you're not." Empowerment is mostly common on conspiracy theorists, but some creationists have this as the reason. We all belong to a group that shares our thoughts. We feel connected within that group. We feel protected in that group. That is applicable for creationists, conspiracy theorists, Catholics, atheists, any group. Remember when you were a baby? Remember when your mommy was holding you? How good it felt? Remember that you felt protected? And remember that all your needs were met? Wasn't that a warm, cozy feeling? Well, we still have that need for a warm, cozy feeling. Whether we call her mommy or God, it's pretty much the same. Rationalization is not really a reason, it's more like a tool used by creationists to protect their internal feelings. Dude, the universe cannot be 6,000 years old because we're receiving the light of stars that are about 8,000 million years away. Well, no, it's because God put the light where we could see it, huh? Projection. Another ego defense mechanism used by creationists, where we put desires of who do we want to be, and we put the blame of who we don't want to be. Delusion, the non plus ultra reason of why creationists think the way they do. If you want to know more about delusion, I really recommend this video by Time 2. I hope that I got that right. He goes a pretty good and extensive explanation of Carl Jasper's definition of delusion. Oops, I ran out of music. That means that I've been talking for far too long. I don't have the time or the energy to go over all the disorders and problems that are making creationists think the way they do. But just keep in mind that in most cases, it's out of their hands. First Freedom Fighter is not a unique individual in YouTube. There are many creationists that they think that they have the scientific evidence to demonstrate how God created the world in 6,000 years ago. However, it's not ignorance that is stopping them. It's something else, something a lot stronger, something that really cannot be unblocked just by watching a video with enough demonstrations on what they're wrong. So, making videos to debate creationists, I don't think that should be the purpose. Going back to the example of the crazy man from the beginning of this video, the real answer is C. Spend hours making videos not intended for crazy people, but for your rational subscribers that would be interested in knowing anything about the habitat and the behavior of the North African ostrich.